With the crave and craze for compact crossovers, Nissan's Rogue continually keeps selling more units each and every year. It's now in the top 3 of Nissan's best-selling vehicles and is a solid pick for a compact crossover. If you're looking for a compact SUV for 2016, the Rogue should definitely be put on your list. So, let's go ahead and check out this 2016 Nissan Rogue SL. Now, our model of the Rogue we have here is the top-of-the-line SL. Now, we also do have all-wheel drive on this vehicle, and it does have the SL Premium package, which bundles many of the safety technologies, the high-end ones, and then also LED headlights and a pretty nice-looking panoramic sunroof. Now, as far as styling goes on this vehicle, you still have the trapezoid front end here. And then I see a lot of the Maxima's DNA built into this vehicle, especially with the grille and then the headlights too. LED daytime running lights do come standard on every trim of the Rogue, which is quite nice. Here goes the key fob design for the vehicle. It's your typical Nissan intelligent key. You have your remote keyless entry, your lock, unlock, and then you also do have a power tailgate and then your panic button as well. Now we have Nissan's very familiar color for the exterior. It's the gun metallic. You also do have chrome exterior door handles and smart key access on the driver's door as well as the front passenger door too. It has a full-on black leather interior. Power driver's seat with power recline and power lumbar. Now the step-in height for the Rogue is fairly low, and that's great if you want to get children in and out of the vehicle. And it has pretty ease of ingress and egress. Now, when you step on inside of the cabin for the Rogue, it has a slight upscale feel. It's a pretty nice cabin overall. But remember, we do have a fully loaded trim of the Rogue. So of course we have nice leather seating and leather wrapped armrests and everything like that. We also do have this pretty good looking carbon fiber looking like trim. I'm not sure if it's real or not. It's probably fake. But overall, this is a pretty upscale cabin. Now you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. And what you were hearing there was a 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder. Now you do have a full leather wrapped steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, we have a CVT automatic, of course. Nissan loves their CVTs. You also do have lower gear selection. And when you put the vehicle into reverse, it displays your rear view camera. We also do have an around view monitor on this vehicle, which is quite nice. It gives you a top-down view. And then you also do have your normal view too. And then you have cameras all around the vehicle, which is pretty cool. It gives you a little image of the side. And you have a camera on the mirror too, which is nice. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights. You also do have fogs and the hazards. Automatic driver's side window. Let's go ahead and pop up the hood, check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with LED turn signal indicators integrated onto the mirrors. And like I said, you also do have a camera right here on the mirror, and that's for your around view monitor. And we also do have blind spot detection. You have these pretty good looking 18-inch alloy wheels that we do get on the SL trim. Now with this generation Rogue, which was last redesigned in the 2014 model year, Nissan wanted to make the vehicle more premium looking inside and out, and they succeeded, resulting in a significant increase in sales numbers for the Rogue, and is now one of the best-selling vehicles in the compact crossover class. You have LED headlights with LED daytime running lights, which are standard, and you also do have your halogen fog lights. Now Now powering the Rogue is only one engine choice. It's a 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder that does provide 170 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 175 pound-feet of torque at 4,400 RPM, with EPA estimates being a very excellent 25 in the city and 32 on the highway. And remember, we do have the all-wheel drive model here. If you go for the front-wheel drive model, you're looking at 26 in the city and 33 on the highway. So fuel economy is definitely above average for the class for the Rogue, and that's thanks to the CVT automatic. Now, your only gearbox is the CVT automatic and this 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. Some other competitors do offer optional turbocharged powertrains and V6 engines as well. However, this 2.5 liter 4-cylinder does provide an okay amount of power. Now, trims for the Rogue start at the base S trim, which starts at $23,240. The mid-trim level SV, which is the most popular selling trim, starts at $24,690. And then finally, the top of the line SL starts at $28,640. Now, competitors for the Rogue, you're looking at vehicles in the compact crossover class. This includes the likes of the Toyota RAV4, Ford Escape, Honda CR-V, Hyundai Tucson, Kia Sportage, Volkswagen Tiguan, Chevrolet Equinox, and the Dodge Journey, and the Subaru Forester as well. Many competitors in this class. It's now one of the most competitive segments in the automotive industry, at least for North America. Really loving these 18-inch alloys we do get here. Total vehicle price, you're looking at $33,670. On the top right here, we also do have roof rails. Crossbars are also optional. And coming to the rear, you have Lexus RX looking like taillights. And then a rear window wiper with the rear window defroster, and a little rear spoiler at the top with the third brake light. Of course, all of your basic power necessities. Sometimes the power door lock switch can get in the way with this little handlebar. You also do have your power windows right here, and then your power mirrors, chrome interior door handles. Now, Nissan has added a few new things that you can get on the Rogue for the 2016 model year. This includes the Nissanconnect Services, which our vehicle has here, which I'll get to in just a minute. And then we also do have the new Siri Eyes Free, and basically you can talk to Siri through the car, which is pretty cool, but of course you do have to have an iPhone connected to the system. Build quality and materials are pretty consistent throughout the vehicle. It's above average in the class. We do have nice soft touch materials up here on the upper door panel. Mid door panel, however, is a hard touch plastic. Pretty surprised there. The armrest is in this nice leather padded material with nice stitching. Up here on the dashboard, we have this nice softly padded material as well. It's very upscale feeling inside of here too. Build quality is pretty consistent. Not many panel gaps inside of here. The interior trim and pieces don't creak a whole lot either, which is nice. Overall, build quality and materials are pretty good inside of the Rogue. But there's no stitching on the dashboard or anything like that. Not a whole lot of stitching in this vehicle overall, and that is a new automotive trend that you will see in a lot of vehicles nowadays. Now, coming to the steering wheel design, this is Nissan's newest steering wheel design language. You will find this on the new Altima and many other of Nissan's vehicles. It's a pretty good looking steering wheel, pretty stylish, kind of simple looking too. Over here we do have your steering wheel mounted audio controls, and then your controls for your information center, which I'll get to in just a minute. And then you could change your media source from here too, which is cool. Over here we also do have your cruise control buttons, Bluetooth, voice recognition, of course, manually tilting and telescoping steering wheel with an okay range of adjustment. Up here we do have a manually dimming rear view mirror. Surprised it's not auto dimming for $33,000. We also do have a sunglass container, Your SOS Safety Connect is also right here. Map lights, which are LEDs. And then your panoramic sunroof. Gives the cabin a much more airy feel inside of here. And then the shade also does slide automatically one touch. Now, one of the things I really love about the Rogue here is the seats. The seats are extremely comfortable, they're very plush, and they're just great for long road trips. They don't offer a whole lot of side bolstering, I have to say. If you're going around twisty canyon roads, this is definitely not the vehicle to do it in because it doesn't really hold you in place very well. But for long road trips, this is a great vehicle, great road trip vehicle. And the thigh support is exquisite on these seats. I really love these seats. Nissan makes one of the most comfortable seats in the business now. Coming down here, we also do have a little storage cubby and then a USB port auxiliary input, and this is where you'll find a 12-volt power outlet. Right here we have your dual cup holders, heated seats, two-staged for the driver and the passenger, and then we also do have your center console storage with another 12-volt power outlet down there. Decent amount of center console storage, can't complain there. It's fairly deep too. And then you also do have a little tray right there as well. Coming to the climate controls, very simple and clean looking layout. And I love the buttons and the knobs, very clear and easy to read. We do have dual zone automatic climate control here. Temperatures for the driver, and then the passenger on this side. We have your fan speeds, your different zones, and then your automatic mode, and then your recycling, front window defroster, of course, and then your rear window defroster too. Coming to these set of buttons over here, this is where you will find your traction control off button, your sport mode, your eco mode is also down here, power tailgate, and then if you want to turn the power door on or off. Over here we also do have your beep sound for your blind spot detection if you want that on or off. Also, by the way, your blind spot detection warning is located right here. It's not on the mirror itself. And then since we do have the all-wheel drive model, we do have your all-wheel drive locking function, and then you have your hill descent control too, which is pretty cool. Coming to the head unit here, we have the very familiar 7-inch color touchscreen display. Overall, it works fairly well. The responsiveness of this touchscreen is superb. The graphics and the rendering are a little behind the times. It's not the most updated system in the business. There are some better looking systems out there. However, it does what it needs to do with minimal fuss, which is very important. The user friendliness is pretty good. Coming to your different media sources, we do have your AM, FM, your Sirius XM satellite radio over here, and then we also do have your CD player, your auxiliary input too, and then you have your Bluetooth streaming audio, your USB port with iPod integration as well. Coming to your navigation system, you can enter in your street address manually, or you could do it by points of interest. You also do have a go home function where it just automatically goes home if you press on this button right here, which is pretty cool. Then you have your address book, city center, and then intersections, and then your connected search too. The map quality of this navigation system is okay. It does what it needs to do. Like I said, this whole touchscreen just provides minimal fuss. It's not the most updated system out there. We also do have your points of interest located on here too. You can zoom in and out, which is pretty cool. Gives you your live traffic, and then you can touch on the screen to mark destinations, and then you have your digital clock in the upper right hand corner. You can also enter in your destination by voice if you want to. Coming to apps over here, you can access various apps like your Sirius XM traffic, and then you have your Sirius XM travel link too, and then you have your My Apps right here, which you can download apps and have Facebook, Google online search. What I love about this system also that it does have a back button, which is very handy when you want to go back to a certain menu. Coming to settings right here, you can change many different settings from the audio, navigation, traffic, phone and Bluetooth, the system itself. Coming to audio settings, of course, you have all of the basic stuff: bass, treble, balance, and your fader. Navigation settings, you can change your route options if you want the distance units in US or metric. Then you have your phone and Bluetooth, hook up your different devices, system settings like the display language, clock, date, camera settings. What I love about the Rogue also is that when you click on camera right here, you can access this 360-degree view camera at any time you want, which is very handy in my opinion. We also do have a day and night mode of this system, which is pretty cool. You can change the brightness of the screen. Coming to the Nissanconnect Services, this basically gives you your voice menu. You can do a Google send to car, destination send to car, do a connected search, or have a little journey planner, and then view your message history too. But however, you do have to have a subscription service to the Nissanconnect. So you do have to pay a monthly fee for it in the future. And then your voice commands gives you all of your voice recognition commands too. Overall, this 7-inch color display screen is okay. Like I said, it's very user-friendly and the responsiveness is great. Just it's not the most updated system out there. It's not the prettiest looking system either. The instrument cluster and gauges are very familiar here, and it looks like it's came straight off of the Altima, and it's very traditional too, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Coming on the left, we have your tachometer, very bold and clear font, and then you have your coolant gauge, temperature gauge down there too, right below it. Over here on the right, we have your speedometer and then your fuel gauge. Coming in the center, we have your information center with a little LCD screen, and it's all controlled by the buttons on the steering wheel, of course. And it shows you various amounts of vehicle information, such as your tire pressure monitoring system. It shows you tire pressure for each individual tire, which is pretty cool. Over here it has any warning messages, and then your assistance from the driver assistance, meter settings, vehicle settings, maintenance, your alarm, tire pressures, units, language. You could do a factory reset if you want. And then right here it also shows you what gear you're in, your digital clock, exterior temperature readout, and then your trip odometer is down there as well. Coming right there, we have your fuel range, average speed, fuel economy data, gives you a little bar graph, and then it shows you your average fuel economy. Then you have your integrated compass, and it shows you what media source you have playing or what song is playing, all that good stuff. And then you have your driving aids if your blind spot detection is on or off, which is pretty cool. Overall, I love this little information center. Pretty handy. The best part about driving the Rogue is certainly its ride quality. It has a very smooth and buttery-like ride quality, and it feels kind of like a luxury vehicle, to be honest. It's great for long road trips. Very smooth. It soaks up road bumps very well. Now, what's not so impressive is the transmission, the CVT automatic. Tends to drone a whole lot. It's not all that responsive, and it's very slow to respond to. With that being said, the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder provides average acceleration. There are some vehicles that do accelerate faster in the compact crossover class, and there's no optional engine choice, which is a huge con for the Rogue here. And then given as a whole, the Rogue has a pretty forgettable driving experience. This vehicle isn't all that fun to drive, even when you kick it into sport mode, which is kind of a gimmick. The most fuel efficient setting, of course, is the eco mode, which helps save fuel a little bit. The steering and the handling is a little unresponsive. It's kind of numb too, very vague. It's just not the most enjoyable driving experience in the compact crossover class. If you're looking for a vehicle that's more engaging to drive, I suggest going with the Mazda CX-5 or certainly the Ford Escape. Those vehicles are certainly more fun to drive. But the main part about the Rogue is that it provides a very smooth ride quality and pretty good fuel efficiency too. Those are the main pros for driving the Rogue here. As far as visibility goes in the vehicle, visibility is okay. It's kind of compromised due to the C-pillar back there. It's pretty thick. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and shut down the vehicle. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the car. Build quality and materials somewhat follow through in the rear. Soft touch on the armrest, hard touch on the upper door panel, but you have nice stitching right here. Pretty important on the armrest that it's soft touch at least. Now, one pro of the Rogue is that it does have an optional third row seat. Now, our Rogue doesn't have the third row here. However, many vehicles in the compact crossover class don't offer a third row, and that's important for many families. However, when you do get the third row for the Rogue, it's very tight back there, and it's only recommended for small children. But many compact crossovers don't have third rows. Now you do have dual map pockets, rear air vents, and the panoramic sunroof is really nice when it's open. Gives the cabin a much more airy, open feel inside of here instead of it being all closed in. The seats are not as comfortable as the front ones, I have to say. They're actually quite firm, and you sit on them rather than in them. They're just not the most comfortable seats. They're also fairly raised, and the headroom isn't all that great due to them being raised. The legroom is okay back here on the Rogue, however. Overall, this is an okay experience back here in the Rogue. Alright. Power tailgate. Now, cargo space in the Rogue is pretty average in the class. The seats do fold down, of course, to maximize the cargo space. You also do have a divider right here. And like I said, a third row is optional in the Rogue, but instead we do get versatile storage space back here, which is nice. Full manual passenger seat. Glove box compartment, nice and damp. So the 2016 Nissan Rogue certainly checks off the boxes for most families, with it being a very comfortable, smooth, and fuel-efficient little compact crossover with all of the latest technology and having a very upscale feel on the inside and out. However, if you are looking for a compact crossover with a more memorable driving experience, then you may want to look elsewhere. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.